Oh yes, like the stream. We're getting started. It's gonna be a stream at the stream. Come on. Making sure the audio's all right. Getting ready to start it. Oh, yes. Oh, wait. Oh, come on. We got to get us up to 1K in the chat room and the hanging out and doing stuff. Share out the show so people know it's there. I'll be right there. Give me 1 second. Grabbing a clip of some crazy pants. Still dancing. I'm still hi. Oh, look at that. Why am I so red? What is my light? Is it dark all of a sudden? Hold on. How did what happened? What is camera? What are you doing? Why am I? Is it the white? Ah, that's what it is. I put on a white jacket and it freaked out because it's got a where is it? Where's the white balance? Turn off that and then automatically white balance it again. Come on, gotta fix that shit. Hold on. Clearly, whoa, that's a bit much. And then exposure, turn that off, and then yeah, it's trying to compensate for the white jacket. I totally fucked it up. Just don't. All right, whip it. Oh, almost. That's crazy. Look at the caramelizing on my left. Is there a little bit of green on there? Is that what's happening? Yeah, it's got a little bit of green bounce. Son of a bitch. This is what I get for trying to wear white. I've said on many occasions in my life. Fuck this. It's good. And then it all just pops back to normal. Like, thank God. I just panicked my goddamn camera. There we go. Nope. Turn the white balance. That's a lot. Oh, that's too blue. Look. Am I blue? All right. That is close enough. All right. That looks like me. Sure. Fuck it. Hi everybody, welcome to the show. Yeah, what's going on? If anybody has an f-stop suggestion, I'm open to it. So I reset my camera so that it wouldn't have the little. You don't need to know this shit. I swear to God, I'm just gonna end up yammering about this. Doesn't matter to anybody but me, motherfucker. Why? Somebody's got to think this is cool. Come on. Somebody has got to think this is cool. Look, and now I'm all cut off because my camera got all screwy. See, this is what happens when I'm messing around. Hold on, watch this. Take this guy, and we'll go. There we go. And then I think a little bigger. There you go. All right. Yeah, okay. All right. Now we're doing fine. Now it's all right. Fire up that, all right. Fire up that, all right. Give me a hype train. Come on. Do you realize the shit I have to watch during the primary season? Come on. Yeah, this is my tan your balls outfit. Yeah, that's true. Hi, everybody. Hi, Robin. Hi, Patricia. What's up, 56 Nick Rich? Good to see you. Andrea, hello. Hopefully CSL will be joining us in a second. He's got we've got the internet is down. The internet is down. So there you go. Now, so yeah, it made me a little smaller. All right. Anyways, we have a lot to cover today. Jesus Christ, it's gonna be so fucking stupid. The best is yet to. We have there's no one. Shut up. There totally is. It like not only is there audio on YouTube, but the crowd there.
Even outside, it's packed.
It's unbelievable. It's not believable. Also, this is an NFT available at my store. Yes, you can buy real NFTs, a T-shirt with NF on it. And it's a great inside joke. And okay, all right. Now, I'm going to show you something really fucking funny. I mean, it's all going to be ridiculous as we go. But, ladies and gentlemen, if I may, this would be the currently for the former president. After the E. Jean Carroll case today, he went to, I guess, 40 Wall Street or whatever. Like, he went back over because he shit the bed and had that awkward press conference with his lawyer last time. So he's decided, I don't know, my overhead light looks pretty good. I'm going to leave it. Fuck it. He, remember last time she showed up, she said something, and then she just introduced him, and then he just kind of said the same shit he says, whatever. I have no idea what he's going to say when he walks up to this. I have not pre-watched this. But in checking to see if the audio was any good, because, again, he's not mic'd, God knows where the fuck this is coming from, I didn't even get a chance to check the audio on this shit because he just stands there like a dickhead. Watch, I'll show you. This is fucking lunacy. Wait, watch. Yeah! By the way, it opens with a guy in the back who's way back behind lines going, yeah! What? He's got his own hype people there. Yeah! And then Trump, I guess, because he's not having enough hair issues lately, he decides blonde, thinning hair looks best under a direct overhead light. I mean, when you got a pale scalp like mine and brown hair, that's something that's going to torture you most of your life, especially if you're on camera a lot. This is never good. I don't know what they... Yeah! I'm sorry. I should probably... one second. I should probably create a... Yeah. Yeah! All right, there you go. I don't know why it like shrunk down. All right.
Hello back there. How are you?
Yeah, not a good lighting angle. No. Obviously, his time on television taught him fucking nothing. Yeah, I don't know why his lips are white. I don't know. It's just some sort of like a cross between a circus peanut and a minstrel show. I don't know what the fuck is happening. I don't know what that is. Honestly, it's not like his lips stick out past his nose and the light's hitting them like his eyebrows. This is...
Ready? Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'll stand a little bit closer. Do you need that closer? Okay.
Even worse. Is there nowhere in this building that doesn't... How high are the ceilings in this fucking place?
Thank you.
Again, just looks like shit. Just, are you... Nothing. Nothing. You're not... You set this shit up. Why am I trying to help him? What are you waiting for? This is not a live feed.
Whenever you're ready.
I'm ready. We've been ready. We're all ready. What do you think this is? I don't know. Maybe this is a live feed. I don't give a fuck. Is he going live to Newsmax and we just found the feed?
Well, thank you very much. So.
Yeah, you're welcome. Just fucking 46 seconds of. Should I? All right.
As you know, the First Lady's mother passed away. The funeral is tomorrow, and we would have assumed that for a trial like this, it's not an emergency in terms of timing. The judge would have been very nice and would let me go because I want to be at every trial day because I saw what happened.
Okay, first of all, he wasn't in the first one.
In the first one where I was asked not to go by the lawyers very much. They said, it's demeaning. There was no evidence. There was no anything.
So it's not demeaning now?
And so I didn't go. And
Then what are you going to miss tomorrow? What the fuck are you going to miss? You're going to go to a funeral. You come back the next day and go, what did I miss? Nothing. You're going to jibber jabber. Here's a good idea. It's like 5 hours of stuff or whatever. Just a thought. Have your lawyers give you a transcript or and let you read it tomorrow. I'm kidding. Read.
Understood exactly what he meant when he said it was demeaning. There was no reason to go and you shouldn't go. And I decided on this one, same judge. He's a radical Trump hater. And
well, I mean, in his defense, he did sit through the evidence in the first trial, and I don't know how anybody doesn't come away thinking you're a piece of shit. He might not have started that way, but I think sitting through a trial where you are correctly legally described as a rapist is gonna. I'm just saying it. It might be the straw that broke the camel's back in terms of people's opinion of you.
I said, I will go to all days. So what happened?
I will go to all days. I don't know the best words, the best fucking words.
Happened very terribly as we asked to just.
It happened very terribly. Wait, hold on, god damn it. I'm going to go to all days. What happened very terribly was
radical Trump hater. And I said, I will go to all days. So what happened very terribly is we asked to just delay the trial for one day so I could go to the funeral tomorrow and then we could start Friday or Monday or any time they want. And he said, absolutely not. The trial will go on just as it is. You can go to the funeral or you can go to the trial, but you can't do both. I thought it was terrible.
Right. Again, you're just trying to use it to get the fuck out of there. You tried to delay this in the first place. The order came, by the way, when there was no funeral date. Why the fuck it's on a weekday is a bit odd. Honest to God, it seems like you're having the funeral on a Thursday just so you can get out of court. Wouldn't Saturday, Sunday? Oh, sorry, that would eat into your campaigning, right?
It was terrible.
Because he's not choosing between court or being forced to choose between court and a funeral. He's choosing between campaigning and a funeral. And then, but guess what wins?
So he would rather have me miss the funeral or go to the funeral and miss the trial.
Right. And also, you're not going to miss the trial. You miss one day. There is no new discovery. Nothing's going to change. This is about damages.
And that's a nasty man. He's a nasty judge. He's a
nasty. Ooh, he's nasty. That man is nasty. Why is he so nasty? We don't know. How come he's nasty? It's nastiness.
A Trump-hating guy.
He's a nasty Trump-hating guy.
And it's
I like that guy.
Obvious to everybody in the court. It's a disgrace, frankly, what's happening.
You should say disgrace more often, because I don't think you use that word enough. And I think it really, I mean, it kind of, when people are kind of losing interest in your blather, I think the word disgrace really wakes them up, because it's the surprise. You know what I mean? It's kind of like you're about to eat a chocolate chip cookie and then it has a raisin in it. And you're like, what the fuck?
Disgrace.
It wakes you up.
Happens to be a Clinton appointment, but I'm sure that has nothing to do with it. So that's as to that.
That's as to that. Sorry, Clinton appointment,
but I'm sure that has nothing to do with it. So that's as to that.
So that's as to that. I wanted to go to all days. So that as to that.
Second order of business. I'm leaving right now for New Hampshire. We're making a big speech up in New Hampshire.
Oh, yes, I know. I've got it live on another channel right here. I think this is Vivek. No, that's Portsmouth. Is that him? Yeah, this is live. He's introducing him. This looks like the older one, though. Are they replaying the footage? Maybe so. Anyways, we'll get there in a minute. I don't know. Like everybody thinks, for whatever reason, he looks fantastic. By the way,
we just got a poll in that shows me leading by a lot.
Does it?
And I think we'll do there maybe similar to what we did in Iowa.
No.
The difference is that in New Hampshire, they
People can vote in private, and therefore you can't bully
allow
them.
Democrats to vote for whatever reason in the Republican primary.
For whatever reason. Nobody knows, really. You know, now Republicans can vote in the Democratic primary as well and can rat fuck that direction. So I guess it's fair. I guess it's that whole live free or blah, blah, blah.
And they also let independents vote in the Republican primary. So that is a big difference.
Uh-huh.
But we have a nice journey.
Nice? What the fuck is going on? We have a nice journey?
It's going to take place in about 5 minutes when I'm finished with you people.
We have... Fuck me. We have a nice journey that's going to take place in about 5 minutes when I'm done with you people. You know what? Do we have any cues out there that can translate this? Because obviously, I'm misreading this as just fucking rambly jibber jabber, but clearly there's a secret code that I just don't know. Do you guys have your fucking decoder ring with you to explain what nice journey means? It's really something about white hats and child trafficking and Democrats and Pizzagate or some shit, right? It's got to be. It has to be. Because it can't just be. It couldn't possibly be that he's fucking blathering.
I'll be leaving for New Hampshire, in other words, right after this.
In other words, you mean the regular words that most people use? I'll be leaving for New Hampshire right after this. Cool story, bro. Nobody cares, right? And, of course you will be. Secondly, I guess you're going to leave and go up there and do that and then come right back for court/funeral.
And then as to the trial today, it was a very interesting day.
You already said this part. And as to the trial, you remember the whole and that as to that you said earlier? Oh, fuck. Grandpa's on a loop again.
As you probably noticed, it's a big story that the witness today, a person I never knew, I never had anything to do with. It's a totally rigged deal, this whole thing.
It's a rigged deal. They elected her to be the witness, and they were stuffing ballots in her vagina. I don't even know what's going on. I don't know where I am. Now, granted, when I say I don't know her and I don't remember ever meeting her and I've never even seen her before in my life, I also can't remember the last name of the GOP chairman, so I just call him Chairman.
Is rigged, election interference.
It's rigging the rigged thing. It's rigged. It's all rigging. I'm sorry. Did she fucking spin in like somebody from a fucking Cirque show?
But this is a person I have no idea until this happened. Obviously, I have no idea who she was.
Until what happened? The rape? Yeah, we figured as much. Like we didn't think there was. Here's one thing about Trump you can be pretty certain of. Most of the time, his sexual bullshit happened with people he didn't know. Because there is no such thing. If you're a willing participant in any of this shit, you could see it coming a mile away, no pun intended.
And nor could I care less. It's a rigged deal. It's a...
If you couldn't care less, then don't go. What the fuck? What? If you couldn't care less, go to the funeral, go campaign, let your lawyers handle it, write a fucking check, Mr. Billionaire, for $10 billion and continue to just, and ignore it. Fucking ignore it. Just go, we settled it, and we went away. That's what celebrities have to do sometimes. We just got to, I'm not talking about that shit because I got other things. We got to win our country back. Like, this is not even difficult. Why is this hard?
Made up, fabricated story. Well, they found out today that she got rid of a lot of evidence, as you probably noticed. She got rid of...
No, she didn't. She didn't get rid of a lot of evidence. She deleted, like, threats on her email, but they're not deleted forever. They were able to show them because they're on the server and they can get them back. But when she had them, she deleted them because she didn't want to fucking read, I'm going to murder you and, use a melon baller on your fucking skull and shit in your cranium. Like whatever god awful shit they were sending her.
Massive amounts of evidence. And In addition to that, she had a rifle.
First of all, if she deleted massive amounts of evidence, then there's evidence that she was getting threats, and that's an admission, and you're an idiot.
Or a gun, because she said she bought.
Hold on.
Evidence, as you probably noticed, she got rid of massive amounts of evidence, and
evidence that she was getting threats, which she didn't get rid of. She just deleted them on her phone and on her email because she didn't want to look at them. They still exist.
In addition to that, she had a rifle or a gun.
Both or neither. Maybe the same. I don't know. That's a good question. Is a rifle a gun, or is a gun a rifle? Really, honestly, it could be a bazooka. Who knows?
Because she said she bought gun bullets or rifle bullets.
Gun bullets? Where the fuck do you get gun bullets? At the gun bullet store? All right. Remember the whole shit about Biden, at one point saying AR-14 or something like that, reference to whatever, because he was just like I do sometimes when you're just talking and to a group of people or whatever, and you misspeak and you're like, what did I say? I didn't say that. Okay, yeah. What I meant was that kind of, and they ate him up. They still air that clip over and over and over again, even though all the points he makes are completely valid. The whole he said AR-14 or whatever it was. Meanwhile, this motherfucker is saying gun bullets, rifle bullets, and gun bullets. How about just bullets? Unless you're making the case that she has a handgun and she bought rifle bullets for it, and that's why she's stupid. Bitch bought 5.56 for a 9mm. She doesn't know what the hell she's doing. If that's your case, then make it. It's just stupid. But well, let's hear it again.
Because she said she bought gun bullets or rifle.
Sorry, gun bullets. God damn.
A rifle or a gun, because she said she bought gun bullets or rifle bullets, and it was the opposite, I guess, of her gun.
Okay.
And was it licensed? No, it wasn't licensed. So I guess she's.
Well, who gives a shit if you got the wrong bullets? Who cares if the gun is licensed? You don't have to have a license to throw a gun that doesn't work at someone, like a villain in an old Superman television series where they run out of gun bullets and then just chuck the fucking thing. Yeah, the bullets bounced off him. Maybe I'll just throw the shit at him. Maybe that'll make him blink while I leave the room.
Difficult problem. That's going to be her problem, but she.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be a difficult problem where she's trying to fucking shove rifle bullets into a handgun while your supporters are trying to kick down her door and murder her. What the fuck?
Is a gun or a rifle?
I don't know. Does it matter at this point?
She didn't really explain which. She might have both.
Here's the question. Do you know the difference? She might have both. I'm going to guess she has both. But I am going to say that I'm pretty sure she doesn't have a rifle under her pillow. She's not sleeping with a rifle under her pillow, or have a rifle in the nightstand. It's a big, tall fucking nightstand, if that's the case.
Because she said she bought rifle bullets, so...
Sorry. I don't know what is this? What the fuck? What is this? Gun people, maggots. Explain to me what he's talking about.
Because she said she bought gun bullets or rifle bullets, and it was the opposite, I guess, of her gun. And was it licensed? No, it wasn't licensed. So I guess she's got a difficult problem. That's going to be her problem. But she has a gun or a rifle. She didn't really explain which. She might have both, because she said she bought rifle bullets. So and it's totally unlicensed. So I assume that's a problem. But the judge was protecting.
I assume that's a problem. Yeah. They'll try her right after Hunter Biden. Like, you motherfuckers. What are they going to try her for? Jesus Christ. You find a Trump judge who's he's going to charge her with having the wrong bullets for the wrong firearm. Gun bullets. Motherfucker. Shit. Oh, God. I'm sorry. Okay. Oh, God. Gun bullets. Motherfucker. It's a problem. Probably, I don't know. She bought gun bullets for a rifle or rifle bullets for a gun. Who knows? Oh, God. Oh. The funny thing is, 2 Corinthians, so he mentioned in the chat, like, this is his version of 2 Corinthians. This is worse. Like, maggots don't give a fuck if you don't know the Bible, but if you don't know stuff about bullets, that's sacrilege. What bullets would Jesus use? I gotta listen to this whole chunk again. I'm sorry.
Of evidence, and in addition to that, she had a rifle or a gun, because she said she bought gun bullets or rifle bullets, and it was the opposite, I guess, of her gun. And was it licensed? No, it wasn't licensed, so I guess she's got a difficult problem. That's going to be her problem, but she has a gun or a rifle. She didn't really explain which. She might have both, because she said she bought rifle bullets, and it's totally unlicensed. So I assume that's a problem, but
he just literally said that twice. Do you hear that? Like, I'm talking about repeating
so
shit.
I guess she's got a difficult problem. That's going to be her problem, but she has a gun or a rifle. She didn't really explain which. She might have both, because she said she bought rifle bullets, and it's totally unlicensed. So I assume that's a problem, but the judge was protecting her. He didn't want to go there. We don't want to go there. We don't want to. If that were me, it would be a different story. But with her, the judge is totally protecting.
Well, I'll tell you what. At the trial where you're accusing someone of rape, we'll see.
Protective of them.
Them, chicks.
And frankly, anybody in that court would see it. Frankly, it's a disgrace.
Again, thank God he used the word disgrace again.
That's probably one of the reasons our country's going to hell.
Yeah, I blame gun bullets. One of the reasons our country's going to hell is that all the wrong people are trying to put rifle bullets in a handgun.
So the big take today was that she deleted and...
The big take today. Takeaway. The big takeaway. People have a take on something, and the big takeaway, the thing you take away, fuck me. I'm just saying, maybe draft up some, just in the car ride from the courthouse, maybe generate some points. Motherfucker.
Destroyed massive amounts of evidence, and we think that both trials should be thrown out because it's ridiculous. They should be thrown out.
Yeah, ridiculous is not a legal defense. Your Honor, I object. Why? It's absurd. Sit the fuck down.
And I frankly am the one that suffered damages. I should be given money, given damages.
Again, the idea that a billionaire wouldn't just settle this and shut the fuck up and move on to other stuff it just points to how broke this dumbass is.
And that's where that is.
Yeah, it is. That's where it is. That's where that is. It's fuck. He's missed his calling. He could have been Tom Brokaw. He could have been Walter Cronkite, and that's what that is.
And with that being said, I'm heading out to New Hampshire. Thank you very much for being back there. Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody.
Real quick, Hal Sparks from the internet. Hal Sparks, Megaworldwide. One question, Mr. Former President, Mr. Three-time loser. Did you, by any chance, either eat or try to suck on a powdered donut on your way here? Also, after you tried to do that, did you place it on your head and kind of smear it around? Because where's he going?
Nice to see you, Paula. You take care.
Boom, 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 boom. That's it. That's the. Okay, and then I guess okay, he hasn't spoken yet. Okay, so the footage they were playing must have been of him and Ramaswamy. Oh yeah, this lady. This is one of the Trump supporters that's there, and she just literally repeats his talking points verbatim. I saw her earlier. There's also there was another dude too. Where is this? Yeah, this dude. So this guy right here is just a big RSBN fan. He just walked up and went, "Man, I just want to say hi to RSBN." And they were like, "What makes you watch it?" And he's like, "Well, I moved from California to New Hampshire," which is like, what the fuck? Okay. And he's just a huge RSBN fan. And the reason he's an RSBN fan, I'll spare you the entire interview, is because he was in California looking to go to a Trump rally, and RSBN had a number on the screen where you could call and find one, and it literally was like the host. They put the host's fucking number on the screen, his real cell phone, and the guy called him, and he was like, how'd you get my number? It's like, it's on the screen. I wanted to see the thing if I could, that if you don't mind. Jesus. All right, hold on 1 second. So here we go. Wait, okay. This is him kind of basically.
Said broadcasting network, it's a reflection of what they believe in the sense of the freedom of speech and President Trump. So you could.
Yeah, it's who's being interviewed here? Anyways, it's just fucking dumb. Anyways, and so I don't know who this lady is. She's like they have like a Tiffany lookalike contest before.
Who will be joining us live at any moment right now, and we will be
huge crowd, huge crowd.
Seeing the president when he gets here. So Carolyn, thank you so much for joining us here on Right Side Broadcasting Network.
Thank you so much for having me. I just bombarded your shot without realizing it, so sorry about that, but thanks for having me.
Of course. Last night, first of all, I want to ask you a question about MSNBC and CNN not even showing President Trump's speech the other night. What are your thoughts about that?
Well, thank you for asking that, because a lot of the news media here tonight certainly won't be talking about the fact that two of the major networks in this country purposefully censored and silenced not only the former president of the United States, but also the leading candidate in this next election. Voters deserve to hear what the president has to say coming off the heels of a historic victory in Iowa, where he broke records, won by 30 points, won 98 of 99 counties, won across every single demographic across the board. It's very striking and frankly scary that those networks made the editorial decision to not allow voters to hear what the president had to say. Why are they so afraid of letting voters hear his words? Maybe it's...
Well, if I may, young lady, it's because he says the same stupid shit all the time. And he lost in 2020. He keeps saying he won, and they don't want to carry that bullshit and pretend it's it's true in any way. I think that would be, I think the primary reason why this jerkweed actually doesn't get the coverage. The other thing too is that it's really about the fact that somebody else came into. Hold on 1 second. All right. The fact that it was like who was going to come in second is a bigger story. DeSantis or Nikki Haley, there's a back and forth about these first two states, who's going to come in second. Because again, the person who won Iowa when Trump ran the first time didn't win the rest of the shit. So it doesn't fucking matter. It hasn't been the case in most Republican primaries that the person who wins Iowa is the winner of, goes on anyways to win the primary, much less the presidency. It's not a thing. Most of the Republicans that have technically won the primary in Iowa ran unopposed. including George H.W. Bush. Like, he lost the first time, became vice president, and then he ran unopposed during, after the Reagan presidency. So that's why nobody gives a fuck. Because it's boring. Because you're boring. He's boring. And still, we're going to look at it. Okay, now, while we're waiting for this nonsense to happen.
This world has never seen, as President Trump often talks about, the nuclear power and the threat that
Don't say that word. Do not say, you're not supposed to say that. He calls it the other N word. It's just, which is, makes me nauseous, just him fucking talking like that. Anyways, now, before we get to this, we'll take, while we're waiting for Donald Trump to be late to his own thing. This is Pat somebody or other on the Blaze. And apparently, Joy Reid apparently said, evil MSNBC attacks white Christians for Trump's Iowa caucus win. And this is him going after Joy Reid. So I'm sure everything he said, that she said, is taken in total context. And of course, instead of focusing on evangelicals who are particularly subservient to Donald Trump for some odd fucking reason, considering he thinks their religion is laughable, it's kind of like, it's like Ayn Rand fans who call themselves Christians to get elected. It's the same kind of hypocrisy. But here we go.
Interject. I'm sorry, I just have to do a little bit of business just for a second. At this point in the evening, the projected winner of the Iowa caucuses has just started giving his victory speech. We will keep an eye on that as it happens.
His name's Donald Trump.
We will let you know if there's any news made in that speech, if there's anything noteworthy.
Look how they're like, his name's Donald Trump, say his name. Like they're at a fucking police shooting protest. Say his name. Say his name. We know his name. And as a matter of fact, it's funny that not saying his name bothers you so much.
Substantive and important. The reason I'm saying this is, of course, there is a reason that we and other news organizations have generally stopped giving an unfiltered live platform to remarks by former President Trump.
Other than the fact that he says motherfucker sometimes on the air.
It is not out of spite. It is not a decision that we relish. It is a decision that we regularly revisit. And honestly, earnestly, it is not an easy decision. But there is
also the Pat dude in the background. He does the same thing that that Glenn Beck does, which is just blather over top of it. Which I gotta say, as somebody who stop-starts, and I know it drives some people crazy, but to me, this is a better way of actually contextualizing what I'm saying and what they're saying. But the idea that you'll kind of talk over what they're saying and just inject like you're a fucking kid spitballing in a classroom is kind of lame. It's kind of weak.
There's a cost to us as a news organization of knowingly broadcasting untrue things.
Oh my God!
The fundamental truth of our business and who we are. And so his remarks tonight will not air here live. We will monitor them and let you know about any news that he makes.
Wow. Of course, to their audience, that's great.
Yeah, and also most of their audience has the internet if they want to watch any of these fucking speeches.
I'm sure that's fine. Yeah, they don't care.
Yeah,
they don't care. If you're watching MSNBC, you know who they are and what they do.
Okay, couple things. One, Pat, there's no way that guitar behind you is in tune. Prove me wrong. Secondly, that's fake brick. I don't want to hear shit about fake news when you have the brick paneling that you can buy at fucking Home Depot behind you, and you're barely hiding the seam with your head.
And you're good with it.
This is at Blaze headquarters. They don't have a rando brick wall there.
And so
it has nothing to do with broadcasting untrue things, because if that were the case, that in March, when the State of the Union happens, I don't expect to see Joe Biden's face on MSNBC.
That's for sure.
Oh, I see, because the idea is that they're carrying it. Well, again, just because your opinions differ from him, if he's fact-checked live on the air, which is what a lot of them do, it's called Z-Brick, is it? You can fact-check him live on the air, and you get a response right afterwards. That's the difference between a campaign speech, for example, which is total bullshit, and the State of the Union, which actually has to measure up to what the Congress is talking about. And there'll be a difference between Republicans and Democrats, and there always is, but they get a response afterwards.
Yeah. Well, these people
are we waiting till March?
Yeah, it's
for the State of the Union.
Yeah, it's
Why?
I don't know, because he's
That's
old,
weird.
and I don't know.
Because he's old.
Maybe think he'll be replaced by then. State of the Union. Yeah, but you're right. It's very late this year.
That's really late. Wow.
Union. Let's see. I think it's March 4th. If I think March 7th.
We had more from.
Well, that settles it. Obviously Biden is failing miserably. Maybe it might be that they know that that's more than likely, depending on how the Fed goes, right after where the first like lowering of the interest rate happens.
When was the last time we played Rachel Maddow?
I know.
Years ago.
Last night.
Well, and by the way, when he says play Rachel Maddow, he doesn't mean clips. He and those guys all dress up like her, and it's it's a little gross. I mean, I really I had to block certain websites just so I didn't have to see it.
It was so just
egregious.
Gross. Yes,
yeah.
That you had to play these clips. And by the way, same thing with CNN. Like, they played just a few seconds of it, and then they bail out.
Cut away.
And then Jake Tapper says, Iowa caucus goers decided to believe in the big lie. Oh my gosh. He utters.
Oh dear. Oh heavens. Don't upset Pat like that. Also, he didn't randomly say it out of nowhere. He's talking about that poll we saw about 14% of the electorate there, half of them, a little over half of those folks who showed up in the fucking snow to back Donald Trump believe that Biden's not the legitimate president. Right?
That phrase, the big lie.
Wow.
Every single
What happened to
broadcast day.
Jake Tapper?
He hates Donald Trump.
Yeah, he does.
Him.
He does. It's
and what's not to like? I mean, granted, none of you would trust Trump alone in a room with your teenage daughter. Would you? Would you?
ruined him. It's ruined his
yeah.
journalistic tendencies because
His tendencies. It's an identity.
he was a journalist at one point.
Yeah.
He's not now. That is
He just stopped journaling.
not journalism.
So, like, where Bill Maher has the blind spot on religion. Right.
Yeah.
Jake
He doesn't have a blind spot on religion. He's an atheist. That's not a blind spot on religion. That's a distinct choice, stupid.
Tapper has it with Donald Trump.
Yeah,
They
I think
cannot
that's right.
report on those things.
I'm sorry. The funny part is this orange crayon right here describing Trump in the same idea as religion, not recognizing that he's describing a fiction in many ways, followed by large groups of people who often don't act in their own self-interests.
Legitimately.
Thank you. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Here's
I don't know what is. I don't know why he's.
Matt Allen, GOP fascism. This is going to be fun.
And the big picture takeaway from that, and I don't mean to be, again, too dark, as you said, on this, but it is not. If we are worried about the rise of authoritarianism in this country, we are worried about potential rise of fascism in this country.
Right,
we're worried about our democracy falling to an authoritarian and potentially fascist form of government. The leader who is...
I love how they're just kind of like interjecting from the back. And can I just say for the record, there's a certain amount of joy that I have in that, because I understand that I play clips and shit talk from my show, but I'm pretty much, in a lot of ways, in my estimation, punching sideways all the time. I don't consider Trump an elite or someone above me. On occasion, it feels like I'm punching down even though I'm not. But as human to human, it's all lateral as far as I'm concerned in that regard. In this particular instance, these motherfuckers are just swinging at clouds.
Trying to do that is part of that equation.
This is what real graphics look like, and real show, and real budget, and real organizations. And they're like, God damn it. I work for Glenn Beck. I work for Glenn Beck's Scraps. By the way, you're watching House Sparks Megaworldwide. Like, subscribe, give a thumbs up, support the show. We've got, we're approaching 62,000 subscribers on YouTube. I'm just saying, now would be the time to subscribe. Doesn't cost you anything. It's just an easy thing to do. Just throwing it.
Oh my god!
But people wanting that is a much bigger.
I love how they're just in the back, like, oh my god, like it's a like they're they hired some scabs and they're in the control room and they don't realize they're on a hot mic. Oh, we already hit 62. Sorry, 63. I got to keep up.
That's right. And the American electorate is made up of two major parties. One of those parties has been flirting with extremism on the ultra-right for a very long time. They've brought them in a way that they haven't been central to Republican electoral politics ever before, and I know because I've been studying this. But once you have radicalized one major party, so that those are the preferences of the people who adhere to your party,
Democrats are
the leaders interchangeable.
Do you hear what he just yelled? Democrats are communists. Well, that seems, okay, point pat.
Yes, Trumpism is sometimes what we call it. Wow, MAGA movement is probably a better way to do it. But
maggots. It's MAGA Trump suckers. So maggots, all uppercase MAGA, lower T and an S. They're just lowercase T and an S.
There is an authoritarian movement inside Republican politics that isn't being bamboozled by Trump. They are pushing Trump to get more and more extreme, because the more extreme things he says, the more they adhere to him. And that is coming from a very large proportion of the American right that adheres to the Republican Party. And that's why this is a Republican Party problem more than it is the problem of one man and his leadership.
Doesn't that tie together the...
Jeez. Oh, my gosh. What garbage.
By the way, for the record, they didn't listen to anything she was saying. These are the same people who think that when Biden comes out and makes a distinction between MAGA Republicans and MAGA as a movement and regular Republicans and conservatives and religious types and whatever, that he makes a distinction in the same way. They're having the same flip out that they had over the basket of deplorables thing, because she was basically making the exact same fucking case as Hillary Clinton made and as Biden has made, which is there are a group of these motherfuckers that can go into the basket of deplorables. They're racist. They're sexist. There's no way around it. They like him because of that. And then there are conservatives that you can actually have a conversation with. And we got to reach out to those folks. And what these guys want to do on behalf of Donald Trump is argue that everybody in the Republican Party is in the basket of deplorables. You have to be racist. You have to be sexist. You have to be proto-fascist. You have to believe Donald Trump is sent by fucking God. Or you're not really a Republican. You're a rhino or a hidden Dem or a fucking cowardly independent.
Garbage.
Isn't that fun?
Spilled out of her mouth.
See what you've been missing over there?
Oh, yeah.
Hold on one second. I do see what this is. Don't put it. I don't think it's it. What is this? Nope. Oh, I see. LaFreak. I see. Okay, good. There shouldn't be links in there, but whatever. Okay, here we go. Back to where we were. Yeah, I can't. Because everybody's freaking out? Is that what they were supposed to be doing? Right.
Yeah.
What was that? What's that stat on Trump's?
Yeah, that stat on Trump thing.
Record
on the election alert.
Yeah, what is this?
He set the Iowa GOP caucus non-incumbent record. So,
right, of all the incumbent, and by the way, the Qs are really mad because technically they think he's still president. So that's gotta hurt.
Or a non-president.
Well, thanks for admitting that. Oh, that's gotta hurt.
With 56,260 votes, surpassing Ted Cruz's 2016 record.
Yeah, by 5,000. After being president for 4 fucking years.
51,666.
Very interesting. And you know what?
And that's surprising because they had a low turnout. It was like 115,000. Whereas the record, I think.
Yeah. See the percentage thing that you're talking about? A lot of people just went, fuck this.
Is 180.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's a huge. That shows you that he won by a bigger percentage than anybody ever has.
No, he didn't. He got a bigger percentage of a smaller group. What the ever-loving fuck are you talking about? A bigger percentage of a smaller group is still a smaller number of people. This is the kind of thinking that gets Republicans thinking that, like, we won the Electoral College, even though we lose the popular vote every time. That makes us more popular in the fucking country. This is fucking bananas. The fact that they would even think of it in those terms, and even this guy seems to be like,
in Iowa.
He won big. That's all well and good.
He didn't win big. He got 5,000 more votes than Ted Cruz got. 4 years. All the shit he did for America. He's got the whole thing. He's got the whole Republican Party. Their nuts cradled in his hands. And he owns the Republican. MAGA is the GOP. End of story. This is a mandate. This is the biggest, greatest movement ever. And the motherfucker only came up with 5,000 more people showing up for him than Ted Cruz did. He barely cleared 50%. He was president already. They know what he's going to do.
Can we wait more than 60 seconds to call
wouldn't
election?
that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice?
People were still voting.
NBC called it at I was
oh my God. They called it for Trump because he was well ahead. There was, and by the way, in caucusing, I do think they should wait longer. But it wasn't going to change how much. Even in the caucusing, everybody kind of expected that. Nobody was turning on MSNBC at the Trump fucking caucuses and going, oh, fuck it. I was going to go, but Rachel Maddow has already called it. Like, get out of here.
Look at it like 5 p.m, and they called it. I mean, it hadn't even started yet.
I love when Pat tweeted up.
Yeah, but the caucus captains have already said who's there on their behalf. They're bringing a certain number of people. They could tell by the volume that he was going to win, just not by how much. Again, I don't know why I'm defending this dickhead.
About who you think is going to win the IR caucus.
It was
the what kind of caucus?
1 minute later, it's been called. I'm like, oh,
jeez,
that's just sad.
Say the word Iowa, Chris.
Iowa?
Oh, very good. Okay.
What was?
Oh, he made fun of him too.
You saying before?
What was I saying before?
Caucus. Check the tape. I love you.
He's hard on you. He is hard on you.
It comes from a place of love. I'm
no,
just
I know.
trying to help you assimilate since
you
you're
only want the best for
You're
him.
a new American. I'm merely trying to help you.
Hey, by the way, I know I'm a new American. Why don't we all have caucuses?
Right?
Like, I feel like that would be such a...
they're weird.
Are they weird?
I like the Democrats one better, though.
They're weird.
I like the
Which one is that?
The way they do the Iowa caucus, where you get in the room and you walk to the corner of the room to which candidate, and then you try to persuade people to move to a different candidate.
Ooh, I like that.
That's much... I mean, if you're going to do a...
Yeah, it's a lot more democratic that way. As people stand up, but then in the case of Trump, especially in an evangelical area, a lot of your Christian friends, knowing that you voted for a pussy grabbing second generation rich kid who's a piece of shit, might just throw a monkey wrench in the idea. Okay, where's this? Oh, yeah, here's one of the caucus captains. They're passing these habits. By the way, that's live in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Hold on 1 second. All right, let's see what this dude's saying. Hold on.
That slew our Goliath, which was Roe v. Wade, which we've been fighting for years and years, and many conservative candidates have pledged to overturn it, and they never did.
The other day, Fani Willis was...
They're still dunking on eliminating a woman's right to choose, and they will continue to do this. The message that they got from the midterms was not that they fucked up, and they literally have a 1 vote margin in the House right now. 1. If anybody on the Republican side has God forbid, has a heart attack or prolonged illness or quits, they're fucked. It's even. And I mean, does anybody know? Does Kamala Harris have to come down? Does does Chuck Schumer break the tie? Since she breaks the tie in the Senate, does Chuck Schumer break the tie in the House? Right.
At a church the other day. Joe Biden was at a church, and they were talking about
and is there a reason why Trump's never in church?
About a number of Bible scriptures, and one thing they didn't do is use the name of Jesus Christ. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, you know who also doesn't do that? Donald Trump.
Yeah, I mean, I wrote a letter to Trump, and I won't go into it, but
you should. Yeah, he is going to. Let me guess. He is going to go into it.
Said, we are a Christian nation. We're not a deist nation, right?
Yeah, we are. We really are. Like the founding fathers were deists.
I said we need to lift high the name of Jesus, because at the name of Jesus, demons flee. We have to realize.
Well, that's obviously that's why crime is up, because Biden won't say Jesus, and the demons don't know where to go. They're just running around in circles.
That there is pervasive darkness in this country. We are losing our republic, and this country is fastly becoming a very satanic country that has turned its back on Christ.
I don't know that a specifically a satanic country, because I'm not quite. Hold on one second. Do we have anybody who has like an opinion on that at all? Well, personally, I mean, can we just agree to disagree? Sorry, it's just stupid.
And we need to see a shift. And if we want to make
a big shift,
America great again, we have to make America godly again. We need men in the pulpit who will stand up boldly.
Just men? Yeah, I guess I don't think that was an accident.
And courageously to stand upon biblical truths.
Well, I mean, I got to say, most of the quote-unquote men in the pulpits stand on biblical truths. I'm going to go out on a limb and say the vast majority of Christian pastors and ministers and stuff are talk about the Bible a lot.
Has to happen.
Not only biblical truths, but also get involved with politics. It's not about separating it, in my opinion.
That's because you're stupid. Like, here, two of these guys. No separation of church and state, and we are not a deist country. This is a Christo-fascist country.
Do you agree? I mean, you in the pulpit, will you talk about political things at all?
Oh, yeah, I do. And, you know, I'm a missionary in Armenia. 100,000 Christians were just, lost their homeland of Artsakh and are refugees in Armenia now. I was on the border during that whole entire conflict, helping the widows and the fatherless. I was held hostage.
Were you?
In Egypt and almost stoned to death by the Muslim Brotherhood back in 2021. I've been to 33 countries. And this has all happened under the Biden administration. Everywhere I go, they say, if you don't get Donald Trump back in office, we're going to lose our country. Not just your country.
There's a lot of almosts in there. So you were able to escape Egypt, were you? And
because
the Biden administration didn't just. I'm supposed they have the number of the Muslim Brotherhood. They could have just said, get rid of this dude. They could have done that clearly.
When Trump,
that would be the satanic thing to do, wouldn't you think?
Trump was in office, our countries were secure, and we need to think about that as well. I think it's totally fine for pastors and evangelists and faith leaders to be very vocal about their support for.
Well, yeah, if you don't know the Bible and you don't really care about the ethics and morals of the Bible that you're supposed to be teaching, absolutely, dive straight into politics. Shit, you might as well just talk about which car to buy while you're at it.
Conservative policies and conservative values. One of the fake news media outlets, a big name I'm not going to mention, did an interview with me, and they said,
but it rhymes with G.
Pastor Tenney, do you think Donald Trump is electable, and why? Because, of course, their narrative is that he's not an electable candidate.
Fox, I'm guessing? Fox, probably?
And I said, listen, if Peter was running for office, would you guys say he's an electable candidate? No. You would tout the fact that Jesus called him Satan and that he denied Jesus 3 times.
It would kind of come up, I think, yeah.
And had a violent history and cut off some guy's ear. And you'd be spending that on the media all day.
Yeah. Especially if it was before he formed the church and became, sort of realized the error of his ways. If he was in between the whole ear cutting, denying him 3 times part, here's the issue with this parallel, is that at least in the case of Peter, he was an apostle the whole time. He was following Jesus around. He was following his teachings. He had a certain belief system, but he knew effectively what would later become the scriptures because he was there and heard it firsthand. Donald Trump doesn't know any of that shit. How about if we just asked one of the Corinthians?
Long to see that he couldn't get the Oval Office. If Jesus was running, you would say Jesus has a mouth and a temper.
You'd call him a communist.
Weaved a whip and he's beat people with that whip.
Yeah, but we're not here to yuck anybody's yum. Again,
he called the Pharisees a brood of vipers and children of the devil, right? And if the rhetoric is true, if it's factual, it's not wrong. The Pharisees were a brood of vipers.
Okay.
But the left news media would say, hey, Jesus Christ running for president of the United States.
Yeah, but just for the record, we're not in a tribal battle with the Pharisees in general. And the generalized, I'll give you an example. The Navajo would refer to the Comanche as snake people. I don't think, as bad as the Comanche were, that modern Americans of any sort would refer to people who were descendants of the Comanche tribe as snake people. Now, back then, if you lived in a wooden house in the middle of the plains and stuff, you'd come up with all kinds of fucking names for these folks because they did a lot of awful. But currently, you wouldn't, yeah.
The United States is calling religious leaders a brood of vipers. You see how they would spin it? So,
well, I'm again, this would, I think this was what we would refer to as false witness, because you're putting words in their mouth and you're assuming behavior on their part that you, by the way, do towards the likes of Jimmy Carter, who has clearly incorporated his Christian beliefs into his actual life, and the mockery you make of Christianity by sucking up to a person like Donald Trump, who brags about the fact that he could sexually assault women and couldn't tell you a fucking Bible book, much less a fucking verse.
Donald Trump is the best candidate that we have in this race. He's the greatest president.
That just means you have a very low opinion of everybody else.
Of my lifetime.
Yeah, you were born yesterday.
He made promises, and he kept those promises.
No, he didn't. He left and we were still in Afghanistan, and then Mexico did not pay for the wall, and the tax cut was not the biggest ever because the part of it for businesses stayed, but the part for individuals it has a sunset clause on it.
Under Donald Trump, our border was secure with over...
Because of COVID. Well, thank you, Xi Jinping, I guess, right? Thanks, Wuhan. Is that the argument now? Sorry. Thanks, Wuhan. Right.
For 500 miles of border wall built, our economy was never...
Slat fence. I mean, come on.
Better. Under the Biden administration, my rent has increased by $400 a month.
I blame gentrification. Let's see. This is blather. I guess we're back up to...
spiritual, super spiritual people.
Super spiritual. They are. They're super duper spiritual.
That have such a great connection with God and pray all the time. Give me a...
All the time. Like you can't even... You don't even know when to interject. You keep waiting for them to say amen so you can go, sir, this is a Wendy's.
Break. And you tell people by their fruits.
Do you now? Do you juggle their plums, or how do you...
Fruits of the Spirit. No, nobody's perfect. Pastor Tenney's not perfect. Donald Trump's not perfect. I'm not perfect. Nobody, obviously, we get that.
I don't know. I mean, I get pretty goddamn close. I mean, I've got, the only limitations I have are the fact that, I'm a biological entity and it just comes with the gig, but it's not by any fault of my own, god damn it. I'm just saying.
The Bible says for all have sinned and fallen.
Also, perfection is a road, not a destination. So I think if you're trying your best and you're, getting up every day and you're putting one foot in front of the other and you're trying to make yourself better and other people's lives better as best you can to the extent that you can at this time, then you're on that perfect road. When you turn around and go back and go, you know what? Fuck it, Christianity. What a bunch of bullshit. How about the pussy grabbing guy? I'll go with the dude who was friends with Jeffrey Epstein. I'm just saying that might be, I don't know, imperfect. It's a harsh word, but I'm not afraid to use it.
Short of the glory of God. So if that's the case, which it is, we realize that, hey, we have someone that is also helping us get a connection to God, and that is through Jesus for those of you that are Christians out there. But
what do you mean, for those of you that are Christians out there? Did you not hear what that pastor said? There are no others. Alpha, Omega. There, no one gets to the Father but through me, motherfucker. There isn't an option. Stop leaving an option open. What are you, a Democrat? Good Lord. We're not deists. Didn't you hear the dude? God damn. This guy just doesn't pay attention.
Again, back to what I was saying as well.
Yes, please go back to repeating yourself.
The Jewish faith, the Judeo-Christian principle.
Just for the record, they're not down with the Jesus. Just saying. Their Jesus hasn't come yet, and that Jesus they thought was not the Jesus. He was a Jesus. Just saying.
The Old Testament and the New Testament are awesome.
They are. So well said. So well said. Fucking A, right? It's just awesome. Man. That's one of the great parts of it. You know what I mean. You know what I'm talking about. This is, That's the. Why is that turning back on? Quit it. Hold on. The camera like freaked out on me. The one that's shaking because it's again we're gonna image gonna how do I save these fucking settings so this thing stops doing this? Okay. Nope. Overhead mode. Nope. This kind of thing. Nope. Save as okay. There you go. Save as preset. All right. And I got to close this and reopen it because it was panicking. My character camera is just like wigging the shit out. It's very weird. More settings. There you go. Just I don't want that. Smart adjustment. No. Quit it. It's panicking. You remember what it was doing the whole where are we? Get out of here. Come here, you. Quit it. Go back to here. Whew. Okay. I think it worked. You guys can't even see it, but the camera's literally just like shaking like fucking crazy. Okay, and then we'll move this back up here. Hey, there we go. Because my, I'm like in the middle of it. I'm like, my thing's going fucking crazy. It's like shaking all over the goddamn place. And I think you guys are right. Also, it's a good time to bring up the fact that we need subscribers. So please subscribe. And once we hit, it's going to be a party when we hit 66.6 thousand subscribers. Never mind when we hit 666,000 subscribers. Get the fuck out of here. The party, I mean, honestly, it's going to be a bacchanal of political intellectualism. Forget about it. I mean, you know, you guys are going to have to like wear fucking those sleep masks or whatever. You aren't going to be able to take it. It's going to be so goddamn sexy. I'll be there. Don't even fucking forget. I'll be there, man. I'm going to be there. I'm going to make popcorn and weenies. And you know how I mean that. So, so this is, there you go back to him.
Word of God right.
Mm-hmm.
Spring the house down tonight.
Spring der house down tonight. I believe you were trying to say, let's bring the house down tonight.
Indivisible, in liberty and justice for all. Spring the house down tonight.
Spring der house down tonight. I said a thing after at least I got the pledge right. Spring the house down. I'm Bobo, and this is Little Devil. We're not allowed in the house. Yeah, I think that was German, pretty sure. Woo! Spring the house. Yes, that's where you are. He's not going to come out sooner. He's dangling. Don't even think about it until we hear. Oh, well, you got a speaker first. Oh God. Oh dear. Oh dear.
The bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled
Let's get to the note. See, the saving grace when you're, and the guys who have been singing at the other Trump rallies, rough. And you know, again, sometimes these are wannabe singers and this is their chance and it's very nerve wracking and whatever. They're just nervous because they're singing it for the once and future president and all that stuff. So cut them some slack. It's whatever. I don't think it's particularly that bad, but you can tell when a male is in trouble in a lot of cases, where they start too high. They'll get into the oh sake, and you're like, uh-oh, dude. Unless you got a in you're fucked. Most don't. It's best if, gentlemen, if you're gonna start start in your upper base. Just like start in the basement, so that by the time you get to the first floor, people are like, Jesus, this dude's standing on the roof. Oh, say, can you see? You know what I mean? Just go fucking James Earl Jones on it. You know what I mean? Because by the time, oh, the land of the free and the home of the... And they're like, oh, he hit the note. That's right. Even though it's like fucking 2 octaves below everybody else, even your speaking voice. Yeah, you gotta octave the first line. You totally have to. It's the only way. It's just saying. I'm gonna help you out here. I've seen people egg it all over the fucking place. And you can tell they're, you know, or you can tell that they're like tossing their nuts on the table and going, they walk out and do a fucking Sebastian Bach where they're like, oh, say, can you see? And you're like, oh shit, I don't know where the fuck this guy's going, right? Well, nowhere to go but down. And yeah, so I'm just a warning. Yeah. So, and again, not dunking on her fashion choices, but there's something weird about Republicans and the one bare shoulder thing. If I was a Q Pizzagate conspiratorial person, I would say this is some sort of fucked up like key party code that they do to let people know they're swingers or some shit like that. Dude, everybody knows Sebastian Bach could sing the fuck out of the national anthem. But do you know what I'm talking about? It's a big thing. It's very weird. It's the one shoulder, like they did with Kayleigh McEnany and all this stuff. It's like a rite of passage. It's so odd. And a lot of them also have that like stitched up, torn, I could see the top of your cleavage thing where it's stitched back together like it was torn and they just had to like thread it back together before they went on air. It's I gotta say, the slave girl look, it's totally, it's Jane from Tarzan. It's a Flintstones outfit. You're not wrong. Yeah. So it's a Miss America fetish, like you just want her naked and nothing but the ribbon. Yeah. Always tell who lives a comfy life and who's a life of hardship by the way they actually sing. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think this girl's trying. I got nothing against her being, again, she's just singing the national anthem. Good for her. But like, I have to say, watching a bunch of Trump speeches over the last couple of weeks, they have people come out and do it, and it's work. Listening, some of them, bless their hearts. Oy. That said, they did that part of it. Still, Trump's not out there.
Please welcome State Representative Kim Aber.
Kim Aber, who likes Trump because he has a big brain. Oh boy.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi, Kim.
Friends and patriots.
I'm a patriot, so I'll take that one. I don't think you would consider me a friend. Although I gotta say, if I came across you on the side of the road and your tire was flat, I'd help you change it. I'm just saying. Regardless of my attitude about, your political ideology, I would do that. I would just, if you were trapped under a heavy bookcase, I'd lift it off you. I'm just saying.
We are here tonight in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, at a Donald J. Trump rally.
Oh, I didn't. It's like on the airplane where they're like, "You're flying to Oklahoma. If you don't mean to fly to Oklahoma, raise your hand and tell the flight attendant now." And you're like, "Motherfucker, how did I get on this plane if I have the wrong ticket? How many people with the wrong ticket are you letting on this plane?" Really? You think anybody's like, "Fuck a Trump shit"? That's how dumb the DeSantis voters are. Ow.
With all like-minded people.
Yes, well, that's clearly true. Well, unless somebody stands up and boos and gets told to go home to mommy or some shit.
And we're all friends in this room, aren't we?
We'll see, I guess. A little lukewarm.
A friend of Trump's is a friend of mine.
So, and do I have to prove it or do I just have to say it? And how far does this friendship go? I mean, honestly, because I could use about, I don't know, $10,000 to make this really a kicking channel. It'd be a nice infusion, you know what I'm saying? So, and you got some nice jewelry. I mean, you're well-to-do, running one of the organizations there. Probably got a, job and a nice living as a Republican. Probably got some, cash kicking around. I don't know what your savings are like or whatever, but you could probably sell some bonds or whatever. And that kind. I'm just saying, if I told you I was a friend, do I have to? What form does this friendship have to take?
My name is Kimberly Abear, and I'm a New Hampshire state representative, and I'm a business owner in southern New Hampshire.
Okay.
And in northern Massachusetts.
Oh, all right. So, you're bi. Gotcha. Bi state.
I believe that God has prepared us for this very thing.
Well, I guess we'll see. I don't know how well prepared you are. If you flub at all, it's a lot of pressure. Don't fuck up any words. If God prepared you for this, he didn't prepare you to, well, maybe he did. You know what I mean? The Lord works in mysterious ways. If you invert a couple of letters, shit happens.
I don't know how many of you were ever involved in politics before this. I was always interested. I voted, but I wasn't involved.
No, definitely not.
I wasn't involved until I saw what the meaning of government overreach was during the pandemic.
Ah, I see. Can I, real quick, I know you're caught up in that, but as one of the organizers of this, can you do anything about the audio buzzing on the microphone? Is that a thing? Because not only is it annoying, but it also makes the room sound emptier than it already is.
My husband and I have a business in the Merrimack Valley in
New Hampshire,
Massachusetts, where our customers, through the Department of Defense flow down, wanted our employees' immunization records. And that is none of anyone's business, not ours as an employer.
Yeah, it is. Yes, it is. If you work for the military and you're going to be a contractor for it, we can't fuck up our military readiness because you guys are a bunch of like medical sovereign citizens. Don't get a government fucking contract. Also, this was under Trump, dipshit. She got radicalized in the last year of Trump to go, oh my God, the government's out of control. Wait, who's running it? I'll vote for him again.
And certainly not the government. The second thing that happened is the Board of Health was weaponized by the Department of Labor when they walked through our doors one morning to audit the company to ensure that we were mandating mask wearing in Massachusetts.
Aren't you in New Hampshire? Isn't this about New Hampshire? And aren't you in New Hampshire? Isn't this supposed to be about New Hampshire, I guess? It fucking doesn't matter.
The officials would not even show us the paperwork that they had in their hands.
Well, obviously, because there was nothing on it, But again, this was when Trump was president, so what did he just, probably, fish stinks from the head. He probably told them to come down to your office, tell you to go fuck yourself if you wanted to see what they've written. Just carry blank paper and people will follow it because people are dumb. That sounds like a Trump order.
And that was the day I got in the fight. That was the day I decided to run for public office.
That is the day I shoved a light bulb up my ass and drank bleach.
And
I'm still on a drip of fish tank cleaner right now.
That's what it is, folks. It's a fight.
No, it isn't. No, it's really not. You're not fighting. You're reading from a piece of paper into a microphone on a small little stage in a fucking conference room. It's not a fight. You're not fighting. Stop fucking pretend you're fucking fighting. If you were really fighting, honest to God, you'd have a mouth guard in, and we wouldn't be able to understand you.
The Iowa win on Monday night was no accident.
Unlike, I guess, what Trump does in his pants all the time?
The people of Iowa showed up.
No, they didn't. There's 70,000 fewer of them showed up than last time.
New Hampshire, now it's our time. It's our turn to show the rest of the country.
It's your time. It's your turn. It's your turn to make it your time.
What a first in the primary nation, what the first in the nation primary will do. And
oh, God prepared you to reverse that sentence, I think.
New Hampshire, now it's our time. It's our turn to show.
turn time
show
again.
the rest of the country what the first in the nation primary will do and can.
Thanks, God. I just told him you prepared us for this moment, and then you fuck up my eyesight just as I'm reading this, and I reverse the words. Nice job, asshole. Sorry, folks. God was, I guess, busy with something else and preparing me for this moment.
Can do. And when we win New Hampshire next Tuesday, that will be 2 huge wins. Iowa.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be the first 2. Iowa, and then New Hampshire's after, and you think you're going to win, so it would be 2 huge wins. Also, does your finger smell like corn? Why?
In New Hampshire.
Why didn't you just go Iowa and New Hampshire at this point, for considering how you care about the rest of the country?
A formidable fortress is what we're building, guys.
Oh, okay. Build that wall, but like a delegate wall.
To reclaim our country and reclaim our democracy. A victory in the...
Excuse me. I don't know if you're up on the talking points, but according to Republicans, we don't live in a democracy, fuckhead. It's a republic, and we're trying to get rid of that whole democracy thing. So fucking knock it off.
First in the nation primary is a huge cornerstone in the building of this fortress. Or as President Trump would say, and you guys got to help me, it's going to be massive. It's going to be huge.
What? He doesn't say massive a lot. Ma'am, do I watch more Trump than you do? Shit, I watch more Trump than Melania, so...
That fortress is a symbol of strength for an overwhelming and solid victory in November 2024.
I can see it built in my head like a fucking sky castle.
But first to you guys.
Yeah, but obviously this tiny room of 85 people, you're crucial. And that's why Trump is flying all the way up here to blather on about court in front of you guys.
Thank you for standing in the cold today. Thank you for waiting so long to be in this room.
Well, and got the poor people that are still in the cold.
Even outside, it's packed.
Right?
Thank you for standing all day long on your feet.
You know what? Thank you, Peggy. Wendy, what was her name again? Who cares? Thank you for just saying thank you. Thank you for saying thank you instead of I want to thank. That in and of itself, it would upset Trump if he heard you, but I'm glad you did it. Maybe he's not even in the room yet.
You are true patriots. Folks, please, after you hear from our President Trump tonight.
Our President Trump, okay.
Call 3 people on your way home tonight and tell...
And after the second one stops laughing, ask them if you should call the third one, and they'll probably tell you.
Tell them about today. Make sure they are going to vote next Tuesday. Put a bumper sticker on your car.
Just anyone? Just like, if the houses are rocking, don't come a knocking, or take this job and shove it.
Put a bumper sticker on your laptop, and I brought you guys bumper stickers.
Laptops? Don't have a laptop. Some asshole will see the laptop and they'll look at the sticker and go, Jesus Christ, a Trump sticker on this laptop? Clearly there are crimes inside. We got plenty. We got a lot left over. We have a lot of extra ones. So if you want, don't forget, hit me up afterwards. We have bumper stickers galore. Honestly, there are boxes of these things. And I thought, it was my mistake. I thought they would be a lot more popular than they were. So,
put a sign in your yard, invite a conversation, knock your neighbor's doors.
Excuse me? Knock your neighbor's doors. Just stand out there. Your doors suck. I would never knock my neighbor's doors. I mean, they all look relatively uniform to me. I don't think they have much choice in the house design.
Offer to drive someone to the polls. Offer to meet them at
Yes, the North or the South? Does it matter? Probably the South Pole, yeah.
the polls.
Get in the car. I'll drive you to the polls. Jesus Christ, we just passed Mexico. Where are you going? Off the edge of the continent? Motherfucker! Right.
Breakfast after voting. And employers, do what I did today.
Force your employees to vote.
Invite a very voluntary information on elections for your employees.
Invite a very voluntary information. What?
After voting.
Mm-hmm.
And employers, do what I did today.
Okay, do what she did, employers. Let's hear it.
Invite a very voluntary information on elections for your employees.
Yeah, sure. That's easy enough. I thank you for not asking too much of me. I appreciate that.
You might inspire a few to vote, and I can tell you in my own company, I inspired 6 out of 50 to vote.
6 of them? Fuck, those are, I don't even know. I don't know that I could get anywhere close to those numbers. Hey, chat room, real quick. How many of you are going to vote this year in the election? If you're, this only applies to Americans and are going to vote for Biden. Shit, vote at all, I think, in general. Like, again, because as long as you're engaged in the process, I don't care. I do care, but I want you to vote. It's better that than the alternative. So, yeah, let's give it a try. It takes a second for the chat to catch up with me saying, look at this, pow. Can I inspire some? Look at this. Holy smokes. Look at that. I got you beat, Wendy. Look at all the people I've inspired to vote. I'm kidding. I didn't inspire them to vote. They're already, the folks in my chat in general, give a shit. Give a little shit. All right. So thank you for voting. Thank you for saying you're going to vote, for being inspired to vote. Thank you for the inspiration. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. There you go. Vote. That's what we do. All right. So anyways, but I got you guys somewhere in the order of 2,000 people, and she's got 6. All right. Woo. I can't believe she actually said 6. Just leave the number out of it. If you have 50 employees and you inspired them, just say, I inspired a bunch. Just say a bunch. It sounds better than 6.
Look, I only get in fights that I know.
Excuse me. It's
free health care for illegal. Look.
Yeah,
I can win.
It's pronounced
illegal. Look.
Yeah, the word "look" is pronounced illegal.
Look.
There you go. Thank you. Do you Trump or not?
And because you're a friend of President Trump and a friend of his is a friend of mine.
Yeah, you said that part earlier. It's up. This is a very Trumpy speech. Congratulations. You're repeating yourself oddly, just like he is. I don't know if it's because you got your cards out of order. Mentally, he's got his cards out of order. So you guys are like this.
I know you're in the fight to win also.
Well, they're not actually in a fight. It's just an election. We're not fighting.
Trump has advocated so strongly for us. And in his own words, they're not after me. They're after you. And
yeah, but that's weird.
I'm just in the way.
Why did these people sexually assault E. Jean Carroll? What the fuck are you talking about?
And we must advocate for him now. It's a small ask.
I thought she was going to lose the K.
It's a small ask because President Trump stands between us and chaos.
You do remember the last year of his presidency, right? You do remember. Never mind the riots and all that other shit. On top of that, you do realize that motherfucker, like, the whole Walmart military trucks giving COVID shots thing never fucking happened. Wasn't even organized. He stood up there and just blathered on the, like, his little pandemic press conferences, just talking shit. What?
President Trump stands between us and an open border with terrorists, criminals.
Why is he in New Hampshire then? Who's watching the border now? Melania. He probably got Melania down there.
And drugs.
No wonder there's a run for the border. Am I right, guys? Fellas, come on.
Pouring into our country. President Trump stands between us and a military that is more focused on pronouns.
Oh, look at that. We're under attack.
Than on the mission at hand.
No, they're not. And by the way, thanks for shitting on our serving men and women right now and veterans. Fuck you. What do you mean, yeah? No.
The complete destruction of women's sports.
I mean, on the check off of stuff, I'm glad you guys give a shit about women's anything besides women's places in the home.
People getting paid to not go to work.
Which, again, 2020, the guy who was actually the fucking president. All right.
President Trump.
President struck.
Stands.
Trump. President strap on. Go ahead.
Between us and crime rampant in major U.S. cities and people who break laws.
You know he breaks laws, right? Like lots of them. You're aware of that? Is it just some laws, or also is he really standing between you and it? Because in that whole thing, he said he could shoot somebody in Fifth Avenue, not take a bullet for somebody like that. This motherfucker has never offered to take a bullet for anybody. I mean, he's just pissed that his cushy lifestyle is interrupted because he's got to run around talking to small rooms of people like this.
That are no longer being held accountable. A nation where criminals have more rights than victims. Appeasement to Xi Jinping and murderous dictators.
Sorry. Appeasement to Xi Jinping. Okay.
Eroding freedom, democracy, and stability around the world.
He sucks up to these guys all the time.
Israel's under attack and at war after this current administration reduced oil sanctions and unfroze $6 billion.
No, that money's still in a South Korean bank account. It never got released. It's still there. It did not get to Iran. It is still exactly where it was.
Dollars for the Iranian regime.
I will say real quick, you're not going to bring up that the deal initially, by the way, was for Americans who were being held by the regime and trying to get them out of the country. Presumably, in case we needed to bomb the fuck out of them, or Israel was going to, and it'd be better if our people weren't in the buildings when it happened.
And let's not forget that original plan that President Trump had in place to end the war in Afghanistan.
Uh-huh.
Which was completely botched.
Really? What was the plan? Military were the last to leave. What was the plan?
When the current administration left $88 billion worth of...
Ooh, $3 billion more than Trump says. That's a lot.
Military...
Are we still dropping shit there? We must be. We must have, like, large, like... What is it, a C-130 just flying over and just dropping crates of shit because the Taliban's running out?
Equipment with our secret designs.
Our secret design. All right. What was the secret design for? What do you mean, for the M4 rifle?
And I can tell you,
yeah, I can tell you what the secret designs are. Do not. Oh, now they know. Thanks, lady.
In the military sector, in defense and aerospace, we have to protect all of our drawings. So
yes, yeah, all your drawings. Hide them. And look what Biden did. He dropped them like leaflets in World War II.
$88 billion worth of secret designs in Afghanistan.
I'm just going to say that the Jeeps and trucks and shit, the designs on those aren't particularly... I mean, they know how a carburetor works.
And that same equipment was left blatantly in the hands of terrorists who took the lives of 13 heroic U.S. service members.
No, they weren't. The idea is, by the way, the Taliban that supposedly took all this shit, which they didn't, but whatever, those folks are the people that Trump let out of jail. The terrorists that blew up the civilian side of the airport during the evacuation, that was ISIS-K, the group that Trump says he wiped out. And there's an argument whether or not the Taliban let one of those people through to kill their own civilians to stop the brain drain, as everybody who was worth a fuck in the, you know, in just the Afghan governing structure and corporate structures were just bugging out of the country because the Taliban was going to take over and force their daughters to never go to fucking school again.
So let's
Here.
put that huge cornerstone in place to build this fortress, because after next Tuesday, the first in the nation primary, President Trump needs warriors on his team, and we are in the fight of our lives.
No, you're not. No, you're fucking not. You're not in the fight of your life. Honest to God. Trump is not going to be president again, and you're not going to die. You're not. You have nothing to be afraid of, except your fellow maggots who might flip out and blame you. Half these assholes probably think you're rigging the primary against him and pretend and you were a Democrat that got him coffee.
Thank
You're welcome.
you for listening.
Well, I had to. We were waiting for, let's see if he's shown up yet. Nope.
No, Rogan O'Hanley so rightly put it on Truth Social just the other
Rogan O'Hanley?
day. If you scroll through some of his commentary as well, I mean, we're seeing what's happening out there. We see that
Hogan Gidley? Is that who he's talking about? Rogan O'Hanley? Who the fuck is Rogan O'Hanley?
rhinos are trying to act, and that's exactly what a rhino is, right? They're acting like, okay, we're not swamp, we're America first, we're this, that, and the other, and they aren't.
Yeah, they're acting like this, that, and the other.
Very few are America first and are representing we the people.
Yeah, totally. By the way, hunker down, folks, because I don't know when the fuck this. I think he's supposed to. Yeah, he's supposed to be there already. I think it was supposed to be 7:30 their time. Yeah, he was supposed to.
Looking forward to hearing from the president here. Again, if
sometime
you're just joining us right now, it's an intimate crowd.
It's intimate. That's a good word. Yeah.
A few hundred people here.
Yeah, a few hundred people. I mean, but, you know, again.
Even outside, it's packed.
Yeah, these are only the people who could get into this tiny, teensy room. I would be mad at my campaign staff for not picking the biggest venue you could find because of
Even outside, it's packed.
All those poor people standing in the snow.
In this ballroom at a hotel in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. It is the Sheridan.
Well, that's nice.
It's a gorgeous
spared no expense
town. I've never been to Portsmouth before.
It's gorgeous.
For those of you that have, I mean, it looks like a new build, to be honest. There's a lot of new construction.
Really? Jesus, I thought the new construction that happened under Biden didn't stuff cost too much? What about the cost of lumber?
And just some gorgeous buildings in this smaller town.
Well, yeah, but it is hell. It's gorgeous hell.
Just south of the border to Maine, which our crew did check out Maine this morning just to.
Did you? Why the strip club law is different?
Get our just boots on the ground there. My wife and I have actually made a map of the United States, kind of a cork.
Really? Did you crochet it?
And she's an artist as well, and she drew the country and pinned all the states that she's been to, as did I, and one of them was Maine. I have not been to Maine. She hasn't been to Maine.
We have now,
so,
right?
She gets to do that as well. So.
Did you do it or didn't you? I'm having a hard time following this. I don't know why.
It's pretty cool to be up here in the Northeast right now.
It is cool. I mean, obviously the country's in hell, and it's terrible, and everyone's broken. No one has any money, and everybody's angry, and they can't believe it. This is the worst it's ever been. But also, it's beautiful.
Now, obviously,
and these new builds are fucking fantastic. I mean, this hotel is just fucking choice. I mean, I have to say, as omelet bars go that aren't Mar-a-Lago, that are in hell, this is in my top 3.
See, literally pretty cool. It's very cold,
it's literally pretty cool because it's cold.
You know, here in the Northeast, and
yes, we understand that it gets cold in the Northeast during the winter.
For those of you in the Midwest dealing with those blustery temperatures,
Blustery. Yeah, it's me and Winnie the Pooh and Tigger and Roo. Yeah, we're dealing. It's the blustery days that are the worst.
As our crews were just there, obviously over the weekend, and from Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then on Monday night for the caucus, as you saw, Christina Bobb.
I wanted to be with you alone and talk about the weather, but Trumpy had to blather, and I'm losing my mind.
All right. And Brian Glenn in the Trump War Room.
Oh, I feel so.
Discussing policies for President Trump, but also interviewing Kimberly Guilfoyle, Eric.
Oh, that was exciting. Were you able to clean the spittle out of your tie?
Trump and others watching the numbers come in. You can rely on Right Side Broadcasting Network because...
Yes, the numbers of names put in a paper bag.
We are looking at statistics and polls that are coming in and report accurate information.
Why are there still problems then if that's the case? And then...
Hold on. I don't know what the question was. They've turned to interviewing because Trump's late.
It's affected people in Massachusetts as well, but we're here to basically try and help combat that, and I would say that's why I'm a conservative.
That's awesome. Tell us about your background. Were you brought up conservative? Were your parents conservative?
Oh yeah, so my parents were I would say kind of center, left people. They were definitely more democratic, but growing up, I sort of started to think, well, why would everything they would say oh, Obama's doing a good job, all that stuff, and it's well, why are there still problems then if that's the case?
Yeah, why didn't Obama solve all the problems? Since Trump did.
And then I start looking into it, and as I got older,
obviously because he didn't want to.
In 6th grade, I'm wow, okay, I think I'm not actually you're naturally whatever political party your parents are, because you don't actually know what's going on until you actually look into it. It's okay, I think I'd start.
Wait a minute. Right about the time I was a teenager, I decided my parents are full of shit.
Trying to figure out what I am, and basically I was yeah, I'm a conservative, but yeah, we're here, and I'm super happy to be involved with all this stuff, but
super happy. Although the country is in hell. I don't think that's appropriate. I don't think you should be. Guys, I don't want to put too much pressure on this young man, but you can't be super happy when the country is being destroyed by communists who stole the election from our real president, Donald Trump.
Yeah, and I'm more than happy to be involved with the College Republicans of America and our...
The College Publicans? It's a very weird party. They were there before the Republicans. Before there were Republicans, there were just publicans.
In our state chapter, but yeah, we're just trying to help spread the conservative message around.
That's awesome. That's a pretty cool point that you just made. You said that family was saying that Obama was doing a good job, and then you said, quote, well, why are there still problems? That makes a lot of sense.
It does make sense and stuff. And obviously, when Trump was in office, we didn't have any problems. I mean, what's the problems with 1 million Americans dying? And we didn't have any problems. 6 trillion added to the debt even before the fucking payments for COVID. We didn't have any problems. What?
Exactly. You'll have someone and that's just how it sometimes goes in history. It's
yeah, totally.
Oh, why is it always that this person is saying, oh, this is the way it is? Oh, well, they happen to win. It's Obama happened to win the election. So everything's fine now. Obama, it's same thing with Joe Biden. It's Joe Biden won. All our problems are fixed. It's
yeah, nobody said that. Especially, you do realize that when Obama came in, we were facing the biggest economic crash of our lifetime. And it took them 3 fucking years to get out from under it before they could even start on on their actual agenda.
Things worse now. So anyone...
They weren't. They literally weren't. They literally aren't worse. Also, just for we're in the last year of Biden's first term. Compared to the last year of Trump's first term, which would you live through again, is the theory. I think, which one would you look forward to living through?
Who basically isn't even into politics will be told by someone Joe Biden's doing a good job, and they'll look at that sure about that?
You sure about that? I mean, I mean, sure, unemployment and sure about that. And I mean, my wages are going up, but are you sure about that? I mean, we've shortened the supply chain. I mean, like he's just signed an executive order to stop China companies from investing in Chinese companies that can benefit the military. Are you sure about that? Yes.
I don't know, but yeah, like I think basically the moment I had as a kid, everyone has it at some point.
Yeah, as a kid
in their lives, and it's like.
And at that point, you're like, wow, a light bulb came on when I was in 6th grade, and I was like, oh, there's the switch.
Snapping moment of what I've been told is, can I swear in the air?
No, it's not. OBS is fine. I mean, yeah. If you did, I mean, it is what it is, you know, but.
Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, we are a Christian network that believes in Christian values, but if you want to call Joe Biden an old motherfucker, we're fine with that, really.
Why don't you step a little bit closer? So I had to.
If you're going to swear, at least get close to the mic.
Reach over there a little bit, but if you could step.
Can you get closer so I don't have to reach as far?
Over to the right just a little bit. There you go. So what are you going to be?
See, this is all rigged. This is all set. It's a setup. Look at it. Look at the behind the scenes. This is all fabricated. Fucking rhinos pretending to be maggots. This is terrible. This kid's an independent. He's a poser. He reeks of Antifa. I'm just saying.
As you wave to the people at home, would you like to say hi to anybody at the house?
Yeah, I guess hi to my dad and hi to my brother. Hi, Dad. Hi, Michael. How you doing? They probably don't watch this, but yeah. No, hi to you guys. I'll show them this clip for sure. And hello to the College Republicans of America.
So what's wrong with your mom? What your mom? I mean, I hope she's still with us. Is there a reason why you just ditched mom?
Hope I'm representing you guys well.
Oh, right. Sorry. You're at a Trump event. It's a men thing. It's a man thing. As you can tell from this example over here on your right of here we have the superior man. The emblem, the very the prime example of a superior human being. Right. This talk about master race. This man has mastered cookies. All right.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Do you want to be in office? Do you want to run for office someday?
At this point, I don't know. I do want to just be able to go ahead with my career, but you know.
Yeah, I don't really. That's the kind of thing. My career, but which would be what? Sorry, this.
And I know that I talk about Greg Gutfeld a lot. I was actually able to.
Gutfed?
People on the right and the conservative movement, which is great. And I know that I talk about Greg Gutfeld a lot. I was actually able to see him at his comedy show in Pennsylvania a few months ago, actually back in September of last.
By the way, Sexy Liberal this Saturday in San Francisco. I'm just saying. You got to come down if you're in the area. You're even close to the area. Also, I think we are streaming it. I think they're sexyliberal.com. Pretty sure there's a live stream of it.
Here, and it was great to see him there in Pennsylvania. Got a chance to meet him, and he's a great dude. I like that guy. And
cool. Yeah, awesome.
Speaking of Greg Gutfeld, Carly Bonet on Truth Social as well, apparently is at the Gutfeld show tonight for the taping of that. So I'm not.
I mean, it's like the worlds are coming together. You know what I mean? This is amazing. How did that even happen?
I'm not going to get into promoting other places, but...
Yeah, did you hear that in your ear all of a sudden,
at
asshole?
The end of the day,
I should promote... He's on Fox to fuck me.
Greg Gutfeld has a great show on Fox. That's about the only great show on there. There's a couple others, but whatever. We're not going to get into that.
Can we just get on to this show? Like, for fuck's sake.
That right now. These sponsors that we have...
Oh, God, no. I'm not helping you with sponsors. I will turn this... Hold on. Play this, but I'm turning the audio off. We'll zip ahead to the end of this, and then I will... Because I wanted to show you guys... was it over here? Yeah. So, Rudy Giuliani is on... Yeah, there it is. Is on... He's got a show on Twitter now. And I'm like... They're running this, like, I don't know, whatever. I don't know if he takes calls these days or whatever, but it's his whatever, his common sense show. And I don't know what the fuck this is. Rudy's top 5. Let's go to, hold on. How much of this shit? It's all stuck there. Hold on. It's going to take a minute to reload. So this is part of his show, I guess. Oh, I'm sorry. I should have warned you. Nice. Good quality, X. Good job. Yeah, you're doing. It's great. It's a high quality gathering. Hold on.
From the east side, we're going to go through Central Park. We're going to go right through them and right to the East River. And we're going to kill everybody in our way. And then all of a sudden, one day, they came across Central Park and they just went into homes. They went into the nursing homes and the daycare centers and killed all the old people and the young people. And then they went back. You think I'd want them living there anymore? No. So Joe, will you get?
All right.
But the Palestinians pay.
Okay.
You can also.
This can do most of what Concord can do, a little slower, but not as noisy. It won't create the sonic boom, they say, that required.
Supersonic jet called the Son of Concorde, capable of flying from New York City to London in 3.5 hours. Yeah. Well, we're America. We're still working on other shit.
Concorde to largely fly only over, fly at that speed, only over the ocean, and it'll fly a little.
Well, yeah. If you're going from New York to London, you're going to be flying largely over ocean, I think.
A bit slower. Concorde went at 1,000.
Oh my God! Nobody cares. This is number 3. This is attack on Rachel Maddow.
I mean, that was a historic win. No one has ever gotten that percentage in New Hampshire.
With a marvelously low turnout.
No one's ever won by that margin in New Hampshire. It was a truly contested election. It's a
truly contested, right? Nobody's ever won by that margin except when they were uncontested, which Trump isn't.
Opponents spend more money than he.
How come? Also, why isn't there more attention paid to the fact that he's running in a contested primary?
He did. I mean, there's so much to the story. That is the reason we have this segment of Rudy's stories. You just made my.
It's not called Rudy's stories. It's called Rudy's top 5. It isn't. It literally is. It's literally not.
Point, Mad Cow. You made my point. And the last one that I'm going to give you is the
number 3 is Rachel Maddow out of 5. The last one being either 1 or 5. He's obviously skipping.
New York budget. The New York budget.
Somebody else will change the thing.
Is going to now be $233 billion by Governor Hochul Pochul.
Again, maybe he's better at it than Trump is these days, I guess.
The budget of Florida is $111 billion.
Yeah, but New York literally has Manhattan and Wall Street in it. Florida has Disneyland and a bunch of fish restaurants.
I want you to add up. I'm going to take a pen, and you're going to.
Yeah, here. Ask us.
Do this with me. I'm going to take a pen
and compare the heights of the buildings and the number of Fortune 500 companies in Florida versus New York, and the security concerns of the state overall, and the fact that. All right.
And I'm going to add up.
Why can't I have this level of quality programming? Why can't I have the technological tools at my disposal that Rudy has? I've been in broadcasting my whole life. I literally at New Trier High School. I was on the radio team, for God's sake, and yet after all these years, I'm still not capable of oddly reaching across my desk for a dry erase board, I think. Maybe one day. A boy can dream.
111 and 100.
2 of them. 2 dry erase boards.
And 11. That's the New York budget. 111 and 100, 111, 111. That's 22. And Florida has 21 point something million people. Now I'm going to show you the New York City budget.
New York State.
New York State budget.
Thanks for yelling it, weirdo. Jesus Christ. I don't know how I managed to find something more boring than RSBN waiting for Trump.
Okay. So.
Psst. Move it this way. Move the whole thing. Maybe move your chair. Because that's the whole,
Florida spends $111 billion for 21 million people.
There you go. Somebody else did it for him. Uh-huh.
If you doubled it, it would be 220.
And it would be 222 even. If it was 111, then you're doubling it. But, you know, ballpark. We're just spitballing here. Who does that kind of math that fast?
New York spends double that for 18 million people.
Yeah, but nobody flew 2 airplanes into the tallest towers in Florida. Just saying. Also, beaches don't require as much funding as the Security and Exchange Commission's protection of Wall Street and the fucking Dow. Also, just for the record, if I may, anytime Florida gets fucked up by the weather, the federal government rolls in and picks up the slack.
Why do you think there's this difference?
Because of the number of Fortune 500 companies that are run through there, and the security of those companies, largely, you know, our own economy as a country is predicated on the safety of that, and the Dow Exchange and the security around that in general. And just the idea that, yeah.
Do you really think the services in New York, where there are more rats in New York City than people, do you really think the services in New York City?
Yeah, but in all fairness, no one's done a head count of the sharks around Florida. So.
Or better, that much better than in Florida?
You think that's what they're spending it on? Fucking sidewalks?
Or do you think that this money?
And the answer is yes, by the way. Just for the record, of New York and Florida, which one had a building just fall down on its own without being hit by an airplane, without anything else going, without a bomb going off in its base, anything like that? Just fucking pancaked. Which, Florida, New York, which one of those states just had a building just go, just fucking drop? Anybody?
It's because New York is rotten to the core.
Well, maybe they're trying to de-rotten it.
Corrupt as hell. Pays 2 and 3 times more for contracts. Like ones that I can point out to you, like we pay 2 times more than California. On we were paying 2 times more on COVID contracts, so that our governors and mayors could pay off their favorite
PPE supplier,
campaign contributors. Or
how? How do they pay off their country? What do you mean, pharmaceutical companies? I got news for you. You don't think pharmaceutical companies have a super invested interest in Florida of all places? Fucking Florida?
Generate the money for the Hochul generated a couple of $100 million in campaign contributions by giving extra money for COVID equipment.
COVID equipment. Whether the COVID pumps and the COVID cylinder gaskets that everybody needed on their lungs after, and yeah, the COVID decentralizer remote control, so that you don't have to do it yourself manually because it stinks.
And she's the governor. Nobody's even investigating it because she's a Democrat.
Why? What? But these contracts would have been during Trump, and the money that came, the COVID money came from the federal government.
They only investigate Republicans.
Well, they only seem to have to. Well, I mean, all fairness, New Jersey's right across the fucking water from you, and we're going after Menendez pretty strongly. Just throwing that out there.
So we'll be back very shortly.
Well, Mayor, of course, we want to get that number one in there.
Yeah, you forgot that this is the second of Rudy's top 5. Number 2, you have a number 1, and you thought this was the end of it, and your staff / son / whoever the fuck is there is like, there's still 4 of the 5. We've only done.
And I'm thinking for number 1, and you kind of mentioned this already, the anti-Semitism. And we have a short clip here of a swastika. Well, you mentioned it before.
Why don't we?
Let's take a break. I have to shit, and then we'll come back and deal with the Jew thing. That's a thanks very much. By the way, hi chat room. Like and subscribe. Give a thumbs up. Support the show. I'm gonna see if has Trump come in there yet. Nope. Is he in there? Is it no? They're still cranking away at this moment.
Truth, or they might like the propaganda. They might be hooked to the CNNs of the world. So as we see,
yeah, I got to tell you, if I don't get my CNN fix, my arm starts itching and my teeth start falling out. It's rough.
As this election cycle continues, we will see how things transpire when it comes to ratings in the mainstream press. And as I'll move out of the way right now. We're going to take a live look at the crowd here.
Yeah, I can see I mean, it's packed. It's amazing.
Even outside, it's packed.
Look at that. I don't even understand. So are they leaving? Are you wearing like the ode to Trump or something? Is that why there's a big gap around you? I mean, I imagine that room is just fucking jam-packed with people, right? It seems.
And wait on.
Yep, same folks that were there earlier. Not a big
President Trump to arrive on stage. Some of the numbers from the Emerson poll, 44 to 28. The USA Today poll, 46 to 26. President Trump leading throughout.
Yeah, that's not good. If you go from 51% to 44%, to see which direction she's on the rise and he's going down, that's how campaigns are lost.
That right now. So, looking great.
So
here with
yeah, looking great. Seriously, who needs tens of thousands of people in a fucking stadium when you can have a fucking Sheraton ballroom a fifth full in Portsmouth, New Hampshire?
Patriots and people from all over.
Well, we'll see how they act.
New Hampshire.
You know what? Fuck it. They're wearing the hat. Just assume.
We did talk to somebody from Massachusetts earlier.
That was nice. They can't vote here, but okay.
Earlier, looking forward to a speech.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to fucking anything, dude.
Here by the president. Now, again, Friday night,
former president.
7 o'clock, Concord, New Hampshire will be the next live broadcast for Right Side Broadcasting Network. Brian Glenn will be in the house.
Oh, you mean MTG's side piece? Super exciting. Is that why he's not there? Is because she had to fly back and do something, so he only travels with her. So RSBN only gets that dude if MTG's in town.
On Friday, I'll join him there. It'll be great to speak with Brian. Always having great commentary.
Yeah.
And great points made.
Yeah, he's great because he can just kind of talk and talk and talk and talk. He never has to say anything. It's amazing.
Especially, being in the Washington D.C. area, connected there at the Capitol and
connected,
and with what's going on Capitol Hill.
Connected. That sounds a little. That sounds a little swampy. And by connected, you mean he's fucking Marjorie Taylor Greene. That's what he means.
It's always good to hear his insight and his expertise.
Yeah, because he's like an expert on swampy stank.
When it comes to what is happening in the Congress and in the Senate as well. So looking forward to that on Friday night. Then,
by the way, can I just say for the record,
a speech will be on Saturday as well by President Trump.
Shut the fuck up. So I'll speed this ahead a little bit. While they sell bobbleheads, and we're waiting for Trump to come online. Can we just all enjoy the fact that Trump is walking out of the E. Jean Carroll thing and like bitching the way he was and just kind of a fucking mess after being in court all day, and he's going to drive or fly, however the fuck I think they drove up here. I think that's why he said journey, is that they just took a bunch of fucking cars and drove because it was a couple hours and they just figured, let's just do it that way. It'll save us a bunch of money, which is probably also why he's late, but or he just fell asleep in the car and they don't dare wake him up. But can we just enjoy the fact that he's going to come from that into his fucking building where he's just rambling and into this room? Like this, I gotta say, as a comic, when you enter a room on a paid gig and the crowd, this is about the size of the crowd, you're like, oh shit, I don't know, I'm gonna try to get, it's gonna be work to get booked here again. Don't pan back, you're showing the gaps in the, oh shit. Oh, let's see. Also, they're wearing the Caucus captain hats around there because they're kind of like, people think they should have them. All. This dude just yawned, made me yawn. Motherfucker. I'm so susceptible. Also, is there anyone in this state that doesn't have rosacea? Okay. That said, look at this dude. I'm just gonna, this well things. I wonder if I'm gonna be able to beat the president. I'm gonna be able to beat the president. So boy, well, I don't think they'll even stop me if I rush up the stage and just hug him because I love him so much. I'm just gonna, I gotta get my steps in while I'm waiting because he's supposed to be here and that kind of thing. Yeah, it's not total sausage fest. There's this lady over here. Now they work there. These are campaign people back here. Don't scroll around the fucking waiting. Look at this. You're showing the, okay, maybe let's look behind him. Maybe there's a huge room of people behind him. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe is this just the divider? No, they backed off. Okay, well, I guess not. That dude's excited. He's been waiting his whole life. There's Hogan Gidley's stunt double. That guy is totally not Secret Service. This guy's interviewing people down here. The same guy who's been walking back and forth, and they're just asking questions. You know why he's late? Oh my God, they're just playing music while they blather. I feel like Johnny Million's been cheating on me, giving him music. I'm kidding. He plays way better than that. So they're just hanging out. This is great. Yeah. It's kind of a shit little gathering. I gotta say, I'm gonna enjoy the idea that Trump, that dude creeps me out. I gotta say, seriously. The idea that he has enough room where he can do laps. Yeah. So they're, I don't know when the fuck this happens. All right, I'm gonna just grab another clip and just like try to make some functional use of our time while we're waiting for this asshole to show up. Oh man. I need to find one that isn't, well, I was about to go like, I need to find one that's relatively short, but the reality is these motherfuckers, oh, well, shit, let's just jump straight into this business. This is from a show called Tipping Point. The left plans a military coup against President Trump. Fears grow that Trump will use the military in dictatorial ways if he returns to the White House. So we're planning on beating him to it? Is that the idea?
Welcome back to Tipping Point. I'm your host, Kara McKinney.
Hi, Kara. How are you?
NBC is running a full-length screed on treason, but since Orange Man bad, treason, I guess, is the new patriotism. Just like they tell us they have to destroy democracy in order to save it.
I don't know what that means. I guess that's because you can't vote for him because he violated his oath.
Case in point, attempts to kick President Trump off the ballot.
Right, that's exactly. You know, he could have, he could have done all of Jan 6 if he hadn't taken his oath first.
By judicial fiat.
Like, subscribe, give a thumbs up, support the show. I go through this shit for you guys so that you can go, oh, I know where that stupid talking point came from.
How many times did we hear all these fake fears about President Trump plotting to use the military to overthrow the government and install himself as dictator?
Yeah, I mean, he tried. You did see the video of Jan 6, right? He just failed.
Honestly, is no one more delusional in all the psych wards in this nation than the left-wing elites that we have? Because while President Trump was in office, it was former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and everyone's least favorite general, Mark Milley, who were going behind the back of the commander-in-chief to withhold from him the nuclear codes and to coordinate with China. At least Milley was doing so, to give them a heads up, a warning in case President Trump was ever going to order a strike against them or their hold.
No, he was basically saying that we are staying with the doctrine of not first striking. Don't think he's actually going to do it, because he wasn't. And secondarily, they didn't hide the nuclear codes from him. He forgot where they were.
Again, I will repeat it until I'm blue in the face.
Blue in the dress.
Because it's the left's playbook, straight out of Saul Alinsky. Accuse your political enemy of what you yourself is guilty of. That
are guilty of. There I go. Accusing you of grammar bad when not speak good. Boy, is their face egg.
No one could ever suspect the left of wanting to stage an actual military coup against the duly elected president of the United States.
Why would we want to do that to Biden?
Because that's something Trump would only ever do, right? That's what the media tells me all the time.
Well, I mean, they also tell you that he's not president right now, that Trump is not president. You do know that, right?
See how brilliantly that propaganda works. And that allows him to get away with his NBC piece, which literally reads as follows. A network of public interest groups and lawmakers nervous about former President Trump's potential return to power is quietly devising plans to foil any effort on his part to pressure the U.S. military to carry out his political agenda.
Right, and you wouldn't want his political agenda to be carried out. You'd want simply what's in the best interest of the United States to be carried out.
The military is under the civilian control of the president for a reason, an attempt.
Right, but also that reason is not so that the president can use the military to enact his political whims if he can't get the votes in Congress, for example.
To undo that, as they just insinuated, is playing with a very, very dangerous fire.
Isn't all fire dangerous in general? I mean, certainly has the potential.
Also, doesn't this remind you of that infamous Time magazine article published in February of 2021, in which they gloated how elites from big business to big law to politicians and a number of other powerful professions all got together to use their respective powers to deny President Trump, well, the presidency?
Yeah, I don't think that wouldn't have saved the election. That would have saved, I guess, the country from Trump or something like that. But the election being saved, and you do realize they're showing the dude who carried the Confederate flag in the fucking Capitol, who's a Trump supporter, right? Yeah?
That's what they call fortifying elections. They literally bragged about stealing the election through the deep state while gaslighting us that it never happened.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to give us credit. I mean, the Dems weren't even in power at the time. Trump was president of the United States, and Biden fucking nut punched him, and he never saw it coming. I gotta say, and considering how great Trump is and how smart, now he knows things, he knows more than the generals, he knows all the best words and all the best people, and Biden was able to just kick his ass from a fucking basement in Delaware. I mean, I feel, the more you talk about this, the safer I feel with Joe Biden at the helm.
This new NBC piece gives me the same eerie feeling.
Well, that's good, though. I mean, I like that you're a bit paranoid. I don't expect anything different. But
joining us now to discuss is former law enforcement officer Mike Pugliese, the founder of the Pugliese Law Firm. Mike, as always, thanks for being here tonight.
Thanks, Mike Pugliese from the Pugliese Law Firm. Hold on, I'm going to take this over here. No, I need this one. Is he live? Okay, nope, they're still fucking scanning the room. I'm going to put this on a different monitor so that if it comes up, we'll get back to it. Okay.
Kara, thank you for having me. Yeah, they see the...
Thank you for having me and my shit mic.
Writing on the wall that 80 million Americans are choosing President Trump, and they're choosing him for a reason.
No, they're not. He got 50% in Iowa.
Because he stands to strengthen our republic.
Well, then why didn't all of them show up for him in Iowa? Are you telling me that only 50% of Republicans care about this country? Whew. Well, I mean, those are harsh words. Something I would never say about my fellow Americans the way you do, but I'm sure you'll explain it.
And get America straight and right again on the right path. Listen.
Right and straight and right. Right wing and straight as a fucking straight and not gay at all.
Listen, Article 2, Section 2, Clause 1 of the Presidential Powers Act says clearly the president shall serve as commander-in-chief over our military forces. The end of that period.
Right, but he can't, to uphold the laws of the country, to faithfully execute them, and to protect the Constitution. He doesn't get to just have automatic control over them to get whatever fucking... He can't send the entire military to go get him a fucking Diet Coke, you tit.
These people don't go by the Constitution. We know their agenda now. They see that President Trump will most likely win not only the primary, but the actual election against Joe
The actual election?
Biden.
The general, you mean?
And they see what's going to happen. And now their agenda is clearly they're going to try to abolish the presidential spot position altogether.
That's right. That's our goal, is before Biden even leaves office, we're going to abolish having a president.
And limit his powers in every which way we can imagine.
Okay, you do realize that since Biden is president, any powers we take away from Trump, we also take away from the president we elected. You follow me?
Now, what have we seen, what we have witnessed under the current regime and under the Obama administration also? Well, they have weaponized the DOJ. They have weaponized the FBI to
Well, in self-defense, I would
spy
argue.
on President Trump.
No, they didn't spy on him. They were spying on bad people, and he just happened to be canoodling with them all the time.
And his campaign at that time in 2016, and it continued on.
During his presidency?
We also see where Mark Milley was going to call China, his counterpart, and tell him if any strategic acts that President Trump may take to go against China and protecting the United States.
No, that's not the case. He simply called them to say, we're not going to launch a first strike. You guys don't launch a first strike. If shit happens, we're going to, I guess, do this in the old fisticuffs ways, but we still have that doctrine. I don't know what the fuck. By the way, was Trump ever floating the idea that during COVID he was going to launch a nuclear first strike on China because of COVID? That would be the news. If that's why Milley felt like he had to make that fucking phone call, because Trump was getting closer to it every goddamn day.
This is what we're seeing. They're totally undermining the presidency.
Why would they do that? Why aren't they giving Biden more powers than any dictator? And how's Biden supposed to be a dictator if we're undermining his power? I mean, honestly.
And,
what happens when we put Michelle Obama in there and you guys can't do shit about it, and we've taken her power away to get her groove on? Are you out of your mind?
This is ridiculous. You like to just laugh it off and say these...
Yeah, I do. I mean, what you're saying, what she's saying, yeah, of course.
Guys live in a fantasy land, but it's real.
No, it's not. It really isn't.
These people are real, and they're targeting our republic, and they can't stand.
Why would they target our republic when they're in it?
You're 100% right. You know, the founding fathers, they chose this clause for a reason. They put
Santa or Mrs.
this in there for a reason.
Right, so that the military didn't have control over the presidency, not the other way around, but not so that the president could just keep himself in fucking office.
And that is because they just left tyranny. And they want to make sure that you didn't have a separate military, that you could actually have a dictator.
Right, your own private military as the president. What the fuck is the difference?
And overthrow our civilian form of government.
Right, to avoid people like Donald Trump. That's exactly the point.
And that's the real insurrection, is what we're witnessing with these buffoons trying to go this.
Buffoons? I think it's buffoon, but, you know, whatever.
This route. And I shouldn't use the word buffoon.
Yeah, you shouldn't, because it's not a word. It's buffoon. I think you're mixing up baboon and buffoon. Perhaps that's the problem. Also, like, subscribe, give a thumbs up. Patreon.com/HaroldSparks. I mean, you just could, you know, do that.
Brilliant. And this is what they're working towards.
All right, and then they're just playing him out with, like, music. Okay, is there anything over here on this fucker?
Political rhetoric.
Nope. By the way, the Trumpies are getting restless. They're trying to cheer people up.
Our country, love our God, love each other.
Which God would that be? Because I mean, I gotta tell you, I think there's no way that that most religion, as we know it in the modern era, is based on superstition and not an actual connection to the meta natural, the beyond the natural world. And so you can basically just kind of, as long as your being is in a good place, you can kind of spin a wheel of names and call it whatever you want, because it's not like it gets upset. So I just go straight with just Odin or Zeus. I mean, it seems exciting. You know what I mean? You know, like in the same way that I think George Carlin prayed to Joe Pesci.
Love the soil of this great.
That's right. The blood and the soil. You're hitting it a little right on the nose there, dickhead. Oh, and they put the teleprompters are up. It's about to happen.
Great land. I remember doing trips to Australia.
Yeah, no, and you can't go down there. I mean, come on.
Chad, Africa.
Yeah, I met him once. He's a weirdo.
I was in Rome for a flight connection, so it doesn't really count.
Yeah, I agree.
I was in London before. Now, all of those
no one cares.
Trips there, and Mexico and Costa Rica.
Yeah, what do those countries all have in common? They're all godless hellholes.
All of them were for Christian mission trips that I went on in college with buddies of mine. We just were like, let's go. I mean, we have our faith. Let's go.
Well, I wouldn't list my failures if I were.
Share our faith with people. Let's go see what the world looks like.
Yeah, let's get some, let's get some ass. I'm sorry, what?
And it was very interesting.
Nobody cares.
I went to this one watch for a watch. I couldn't believe it. I realized then, holy smokes, I am nowhere near the United States of America right now. And that was back in...
Wait, what?
Face plates for watches, kind of like a flip top thing, and he had them all on cardboard, and you can buy them. And one of the plates had the image of Osama bin Laden. He was selling Osama bin Laden faceplate things for your watch, for a watch. I couldn't believe it. I realized then, holy smokes, I am nowhere near the United States of America right now.
Really? That was your first clue? Now, the fact that you were in a sub-Saharan African country that more than likely sides with Osama bin Laden on some things, or like, yeah, that you didn't look at your ticket?
And that was back in 2004. Was that?
Yeah, that was a long time ago. That was when he was, I mean, he's not even popular. Those probably aren't selling these days.
That trip to Jamena, Chad, which is the capital, I couldn't believe it.
That's very cool that you're. Hold on, somebody just said there. I just saw that blaze by. That their electrical engineer nephew is in Las Vegas helping set up a solar panel project. That's awesome, Softball Paul. I wish I had a show to send them to this. While they're here. I don't know how long they're going to be here. I'll remind everybody the next time we have like a Nerd Halen gig here.
I was seeing, 3 years prior we dealt with 9/11. And there we are looking at someone selling a number of Osama bin Laden plates.
How much were they? Was it a good deal? Did they last? That's what I want to know. Did they, did you make, was it a good investment? I mean, you obviously brought back boxes and boxes of them.
Those are the people that need to realize that the American people are not on the left side unless, and I'm talking about the American people that are conservatives. Now, those that are liberals that do like the left-wing policies, I don't know.
Yeah, so Americans aren't a monolithic bloc.
How you could. Is that just a hate?
Trump didn't file in Nevada and won't be on the ballot? What an asshole.
Or something is...
What, you have Elena Haba checking his fucking boxes? Really? Is that true?
Is that a hate for God? Is that a hate for freedom?
Yeah, it's probably both, I would think.
It's a deeper conversation to have, maybe on a podcast with someone.
Yeah, so it's somebody, obviously not you, but
to talk about really why do you why would you vote for someone that is suing the Lone Star State? Why would you vote for, they're suing Texas for sticking up for themselves and guarding the border. And then there's a lawsuit from the federal government. Like, what is that? How could you vote for that? And I guess the answer would be, people are brainwashed. They are indoctrinated.
Oh, okay, so Trump and the others, that's not true. He's going to be, the reason they're not on the Nevada primary ballot is because they opted to be in the caucuses, the GOP party-run caucus. Any candidate who registers for a state-run presidential primary isn't eligible to participate in the party-run caucuses, which is the only way to earn delegates in the Republican National Convention. So, yeah.
Indoctrinated and possibly evil. The stand.
I feel seen.
And for our great men and women in uniform to stand for the United States flag. And there's so many people, and I mentioned this last night, I want to mention it again.
How about not groping it? Is that asking too much? Maybe not have a candidate that just fucking gropes the flag?
Because I think it's a...
Also, is this motherfucker... Yeah, he's officially an hour late.
Very important point. And it's on my...
He's an hour late.
Social page, at Matthew Alvarez. If you scroll down, RSBN was aired All Lives MAGA. And she said, Black Lives MAGA. This left-wing rhetoric is trying to tear us Americans apart.
Why would Black Lives MAGA be a... How would that be left-wing rhetoric? I mean, I didn't listen to the whole quote, and I don't really care.
By race and dividing us. Constantly trying all this woke junk that they keep trying to cram.
Yeah, all these woke junk, this bullshit the left is always saying.
We are here to say it's time.
You know, these lies they keep saying about Trump, that he's not here yet and that his speech isn't already awesome. And now I'm just locked in. Now at some point I just gotta... Trump went to the hospital, you think? No way. Oy. This is so awesome. Do you need a dinner break? I kind of do, actually. How about this? I'm going to, I don't know when this motherfucker's going to show up. Like, even the Secret Service are on their fucking phones. So, God knows if he's even going to make it there. I'm going to take a pause. I'll sign off for the night. If he comes back on in a short order, I'm going to eat something. And I don't believe in eating on the stream like fucking Hamas Abi and these assholes. So I will leave you to this, and then I'll come back if he comes back on. How about that? If he'll pop back on and you want to come in, that'd be great. Just like the stream on the way out. Sorry to drag ass and listen to these dum-dums, but yeah, it's a good thing. I don't want to eat into too much of Liberal Dan's show either, waiting for this dipshit. So much love. See you in a little bit or tomorrow. We'll see. Especially since my headset, my earphones were about to die. I'm gonna put them on the charger for a little bit.